Good morning students and welcome to our YouTube channel Eng.Med Modern School. In the previous videos we are just going through the chapter number 6, that is our earth and the moon. Okay, in that we have seen the last topic and we have just completed the chapter, and here we have just reached to the exercise. So first of all let us revise whole chapter. Okay, here the first that we have seen in this chapter, that was the moon. So what is moon? Moon is a natural satellite, okay, that we have seen, and it is the only moon which is the 1/4 of its planet. Other else are smaller than 1/6 of the its planet. Okay, see a reading. What is the brightest object in our night sky? What is it made up of? Samples of rock brought back from the moon shows that they are of same age as the rocks on the earth. Then after, perhaps the moon was once a part of the earth and broke off and started spinning around the earth. You have learnt that except the Mercury and Venus, the other planets in the solar system have moons, also called the satellites or the companions, that revolve around them. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite, and its average distance from the Earth is 3,84,400 km. Then after, it takes the same time to spin once on its axis, that is 29 days, as it takes to revolve once around the earth. So we always see the same side of the moon. That is why humans have wondered what the other side moon look like. Means we can see only one side of the moon, other side of the moon we can't see due to its rotation like this. So here we now know that the moon surface is heavily pitted with the craters made with it was hit by meteorites. Scientists first bought the dark portion of the moon we air seas and named Maris. Maris is a Latin word that means sea. So the dark patch on the moon were named the seas of tranquility and the sea of nectar, and so on. We now know that the dark parts or lowlands or craters and the bright parts of highlands and or mountains, and there is no sea on the moon. There is no sea on the moon. They are highlands and the lowlands. Okay students, moving further, that is, the moon has some mountain peaks that are more than 6,000 meter high. The Ellipses mountain rise up to 10,660 meter. Thus they are higher than Mount Everest. Scientists now believe that there may be frozen water at the moon's north pole and the south pole. The moon has no atmosphere to protect it, so the temperature becomes very high and during daytime and drops below freezing point at the night time. So here in first we have seen the moon, and then after our next topic. Okay, now our next topic, that is effect on the moon on the tides. Okay, so here the first topic that we have seen was the moon. Another topic, that is effect of moon on tides. Effect of the moon on tides. Okay, let us see that here there is low tide and the high tide. We have seen that here you can see the picture which is given over here, that is when here, because of its nearness, the moon has some effect on the earth, especially on the sea. The sun, the earth and the moon have a force called gravitational force which pulls things towards themselves. Okay, if you push a book off a table, it falls on the ground. It does not float on the air. When a ripe fruit breaks off the tree, it falls on the ground. This is because of the earth's gravity. Then after, the moon also cools the water of the earth sea by the gravitational force, that is, so the sea level rises and falls twice every day. When it is rise, we called it high tide, and when it is goes down, we called it low tide. Then after, on full moon and new moon days, the sun, moon and the earth are in a straight line. The combined effect of the sun and the moon pulls the water from the seas, so the tides are the highest there. They are called spring tides. On the first and the third quarter of the moon, the sun and moon are at right angles of to each other. The sun pulls in one direction and the moon in the another direction. So the tides are the lowest, then they are called the nip tides. Okay. The combined effect of the sun and the moon pulls the water from the sea, so the tides are the highest. They are called the spring tide. On the first and the third quarter of the sun, moon, and they are at the right angle, so the sun pulls in one direction, the moon in the another direction. Then they are called the nip tides. Sun is much bigger and stronger than the moon, and also it can also pull more strongly, but it is about 1.49 million kilometer away, as moon is near, and the effect of the moon's gravitational pulls are felt more. Okay, then after here it is light and shadow, our new topic, that is light and shadow. Light and shadow. Light and shadow. So here, first of all, what is light? Okay, here we will say the tubes which are on, this is the light. But all the planets, if we just talk about the planets, all the planets have their own light? No, they do not have their own light. What it is the reflection of the sun. In the solar system, only the sun have its own light, or anyone doesn't have its own light. Okay students, here, and then after, what happens, after the light comes about the shadow. That what is shadow? We have seen in that in the very morning, how we just see our shadow, that is long. On the, if I say that here is east and that side is west, and the sun will be on the back side, so our shadow will be on the west side. Okay, and in the midday the sun will be upside and your shadow will be around your feet. It will not be long, it will be short. And then after, if I say in the evening, then sun will be on that side, so our shadow will be on the back side. Okay, so this is the light and the shadow. See, here I am just reading this. You have just learned that the moon has no light of its own. The planets in the solar system also have no lights of their own. They all reflect the light of the sun. The sun alone has light of its own in the solar system. When you walk out in the sun during daytime, have you noticed that your constant companion is your shadow? This shadow is strange. Sometimes early in the morning or in the evening, it is long, and many times as your height. At midday, your shadow is so small that you can't think you can be that short. Shadow. What is shadow? You know that the Earth and the other planets move around the sun in a fixed orbit. The sun is a huge glowing mass of gaseous material. It is the source of light for the Earth and the moon. You know how day and night are caused by the Earth's rotation. We have day when our part of the Earth faces to the sun, and night when we doesn't face the sun. During daytime we get light from the sun. Okay, during daytime we get light. Light has the capacity to pass through some things, but there are other things through which light cannot pass. First is transparent. The materials which allows the light to pass by it, they are known as the transparent. And translucent, the materials which partially allows the light to pass through it are known as the translucent. And the materials which do not allow light to pass through it is known as the opaque. So due to this opaque, the shadow is formed. Okay, here A tree is an opaque, it blocks the light from the sun from reaching the ground below it. As the light is blocked, that part of the ground looks dark, it is in shadow. We say the shadow of the tree falls there. Then after, when you stand in the sun, your shadow falls on the ground. Thus, when light is blocked by an opaque body, a shadow is cast on the surface behind the body. Light and an opaque body are required for a shadow to be formed. The size of the shadow depends upon the following: the height of the source of light and the distance of the light source from the opaque body. The sharpness of the shadow depends upon the intensity of the light, that is, how bright or dull it is. Okay, with these points in mind, you will realize why your shadow differ in size. Early in the morning, the sun is low on the horizontal in the east, your shadow will be long in the west. At the midday, when the sun is overhead, your shadow will be just around your feet and hands small. In evening, at the sunset, with the sun is in the west, your shadow will be long in the east. At other times of the day, the shadow keeps moving depending upon the angles of the sunlight. And here comes the sundial. So sundial is an instrument which was previously used to know the time. Okay, see here, that is, time can be calculated by the means of the length of the shadow formed by the sun. The olden day, before clocks were invented, people usually used sundials. The sundial consists of a circular board with the hour marked on it. The center is a triangular plate placed vertically. The slant edge of this plate is parallel to its axis of the earth. As the earth rotates, the shadow of the plate moves along the dial, showing the time. Okay, students, then coming towards the ellipses. That is, what is ellipses? It is one type of shadow which covers. There are two types of eclipse, that is solar and then after it is lunar. So in solar, the moon is in between with sun and earth, and in lunar, the earth is in between with moon and the sun. So this is solar and the lunar eclipse. Okay, see here I am just reading directly. Sometimes on a new moon day, the moon comes between the earth and the sun. It casts its shadow on the earth, or we can say the moon blocks the sunlight from reaching some parts of the earth. People in this part cannot see the part of the sun blocked by the moon. This is called the solar eclipse. The moon hides the sun from our view when it comes between the earth and the sun. Solar eclipse does not occur every new moon day, but only once or twice a year. Total solar eclipse, when the sun is completely hid by the moon, is very rare. And lunar eclipse, the moon has no light of its own, it reflects the light of the sun. We see the part of the moon that is lit up by the sunlight during the revolution of the earth around the sun and the moon around the earth. It is sometimes happen the earth comes between the sun and the moon. The earth is an opaque body, it blocks sunlight. The earth's shadow falls on the moon. We called it the lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse occur on the full moon day, means on Purnima, but not on every full moon day. So here we have just revised and read a whole chapter. Okay, now let us discuss about the exercise which I have given in your homework. Here, exercise question number 1, that is, match the following. In that, the first one, that is A, that is size of shadow. Size of shadow, that is depend upon the first one A, that is depend upon 4, that is angle of light, Then after B, that is sharpness of a shadow, that is on intensity of the light, that is third one. intensity of light. C, that is solar eclipse. C, that is solar eclipse, that is on the new moon day. Solar eclipse is on the new moon day. That is one. D, that is lunar eclipse, that is on full moon day. D, that is lunar eclipse, that is on second, that is full moon day. Okay, here moving towards question number 2, that is MCQ. Okay, question number 2, that is MCQ. Okay students, so here the moon appears as the brightest object. Moon appears as the brightest object, okay, in the night sky, as it is the dash to the earth. It is biggest, nearest or smallest. So here in the question number 2, that is MCQ, the answer will be of A, that is 2, nearest. B, the highest tide are caused by the dash, that is sun pulling the sea water, moon pulling the sea water, combined effect of sun and the moon on the sea water. Combined effect of sun and the moon, that is big, so I will not write the full answer. Okay, then after C, that is dash part, dash bodies partially allowed light to pass through it, that is partially, that is translucent. That is C, that is 2. Translucent. D, that is early in the morning your shadow is dash, that is long, short or the same height as you. So here it will be D, that is long. Then after coming towards E, that is lunar eclipse occur dash day, that is on a new moon day, on a full moon, or neither on full moon nor on a new moon. So here it will be E, that is 2. On full moon. Then coming towards F, that is during a lunar eclipse the dash earth's shadow falls on the moon, moon's shadow falls on the earth, or sun's shadow fall on the moon. So here it will be in the F, that is 1. F, that is 1. Earth shadow fall on moon. Okay, so these are the answers. Now moving towards question number 3, that is fill in the blanks. That is first one, the moon surface is heavily peated with dash, that is first one, that is A, craters. B, that is the moon is Earth's only natural dash, satellite. B, that is satellite. Then after, objects through which light can pass are called transparent object. transparent. Then after D, that is light blocked by and dash body cast a shadow, that is opaque. Then after E, in olden days dash were used to find out the time, that is E. Sundial. Then after moving towards question number 4, that is true or false. True or false, that is tides are the highest on the new moon day. Yes, it is highest, so it is true. Also on full moon day also. Second one, there are mountains on the moon. Yes, it is also true. Third one, that is the shadow of an object remains the same size all throughout the day. No, it is of the different size. So third one, it will be false. Fourth one, that is in a dial, sundial, the time is calculated by the length of the shadow. Yes, it is true. Fourth one, that is true. Okay. Fifth one, for an eclipse to occur, the sun, the moon and the earth must be in a line. Yes, that is true. Fifth one. Okay, so these are the answers of the exercise, students. You just write down this, and here we just complete our video, and from next video we will start with our new chapter. Okay students, so today you don't have any homework, you just write down the answers of this. Okay students, we will meet in the next video. Bye students.